So I invite you to be mindful as you stand, as you move out of your chair, as you move your chair to the side, aware of your body moving. Just aware of your body moving as you move into a standing position. And I want to invite you in terms of posture. The first thing I always like to say is just find a comfortable way to stand. What's comfortable for you right now? But for those that would like to kind of follow along with a particular posture that could be strong for you, it's possible, I'll offer some ideas. So one is to have your feet parallel like this, which parallel, of course, means two lines that never intersect. So your feet can be like that, where they're parallel, pointed straight. Obviously, if you have foot issues or leg issues or pain issues, then you wouldn't do that. That's for each person to be mindful of their own self-care with this or with anything. But so we have our feet parallel, and then going up the body, the idea is not to lock anything. So you don't want to lock our knees. You don't want to lock our elbows, kind of like this. You want to have them kind of just ever so gently bent and relaxed. Our knees as well. We want to allow our body to be straight. So from the bottom of our pelvis, a line almost from the bottom of our pelvis goes up our spine, up through the top of our head. It's as if there is a string tied at the very center at the top of our head, pulling us up to the sky. So that helps our chin to be level. We have a tendency to kind of look down, pulling on our neck and upper back, hurting our posture. So we want our chin to be kind of level and comfortable. And I'd invite you just to have your eyes open for this part. It kind of also drives home the point that mindfulness is not just something we do sitting in a corner quietly with our eyes closed, but mindfulness is about bringing this energy of awareness to everything in our life. And so much of our life is with our eyes open. So that would be the case here too. And by the way, the feet can be about 1 foot difference between the two. So if you have them parallel and you turn, say, your left foot, the toes of your left foot to touch the heel of your right foot, it should touch. It's about 1 foot difference. If the feet are too close, that can be imbalanced. If your feet are too far apart, they can be imbalanced. So it's about 1 foot, one of your feet, I should say, difference between the two. Going back to the feet parallel and not locking your knees, we quickly lock joints. So checking yourself on that as you go through the bottom all the way to the top of your body. And so this is a posture of standing. And so we can reconnect with our in-breath and our out-breath. And just see how it feels for you to be following your breathing as you stand here. Perhaps you can even feel your belly expanding and deflating. Just being there for your full in-breath and out-breath. Perhaps the next time you're waiting in line for something, the store, grocery store, that you can be practicing this kind of mindful standing. Even if you mindfully slouch, mindfully place more energy on one foot than the other, that's okay. Still, you could be aware of your breathing as you stand there. Even though you might feel irritated because you're in a long line, you can still discover mindful breathing. Immediately gives us that sense of perspective. So in a moment here, we'll start mindful walking. And just to remind us that the mindful walking is about bringing awareness to each step that we take. And as you'll see, there's a lot of complexity to that. There's so much we can be aware of with our body as we move in space and our surroundings. So many details we suddenly start to pick up on. And so the idea is that we move with awareness, taking in the details, letting them go. We can get very practical with mindful walking, really being attentive to how we lift each leg and how we place each foot down on the earth. To quote one of the great books by Thich Nhat Hanh, peace is every step. Every step we take is an opportunity to create peace. Because that energy of mindfulness and strength helps us to get there. So I invite you to take that first step. And as you do, aware of how quickly your mind decides whether it's going to be your left or your right foot that's first. For most of us, that's not even a mindful decision. It just starts, it just happens. But when we slow down like this, it can be a mindful decision. And that it actually involves beginning to place the weight into the hip of the opposite leg. And the weight builds up, builds up, builds up in the calf muscle and the full leg, the hip, the opposite foot. And then you're ready to step. Place that next foot down and transfer the weight. So beginning now to attend to each foot. Aware of proprioception, which is your body's movement in space. You can be mindful of that. And attending to your body mechanics. Again, we have the tendency to start to look down, impact our neck that way. So you can be aware of your chin being level, if you like. And you can be aware of your breathing as you walk. Aware of both your internal mindfulness and your external mindfulness. So aware of all the things inside. Body tensions, muscle movement, your sense of balance or imbalance, your breathing. You can be aware of this in the spaciousness of your mindfulness. But also, as you go about the space you're in, perhaps you begin to take in details you hadn't noticed before. Through your eyes, maybe through your nose, maybe your ears, maybe through your touch. And the idea is to find a balance between the internal and the external. We can get caught up quickly in either one, and that can throw us off balance. So we place each foot down as we move with awareness. Aware of each turn of your body. Aware of whether you're smiling or not. And let me ask you this. Which of your character strengths are you using right now? Any of the 24 are possible. It's likely that you're using many character strengths right now. What stands out most to you? Some of you might say appreciation of beauty for surroundings. Some of you might say prudence because of each step being very careful and attentive. Some of you might say self-regulation because you're continuing to come back to the present moment and the body's movement and your breathing. Some of you might say humor because you're deliberately smiling, maybe even laughing during the experience. Some of you might say curiosity because you're wondering what's going to happen next, or what am I going to notice next? Some of you might say teamwork because you can see the cameras of so many people, and it's like we're all in this together, all in this as one big community. Hundreds of people practicing mindful walking around the world right now, together, captured in this one call. Some of you might say grateful. Grateful for your body, grateful for your health, grateful for your life. Any of the 24 are possible. Just allow that strength or strengths to just be part of your experience. That doesn't have to distract you. It doesn't have to take you away from it. Instead, the strength should be helpful to you. It should be enhancing your mindfulness, enhancing your present moment experience, enhancing your joy right now. I've returned to mindful standing, this time with my eyes closed, this time to notice my inner experience now compared to the standing before. And then, with whatever your experience, the practice is to breathe with it. That slow, soft inhale and exhale, breathing with it.